Hey everyone, Ace here, he, she, back at you with another Podfic. We are doing Someone Like You by Sparky Pasker. Sorry if I'm pronouncing names wrong again. As always, you can also find them on AO3. We're doing chapter 15. The link and the trigger warnings will be in the description. On with the chapter. Chapter 15. Tamura walked into the bar he called his home. Kurigiri, a genetically engineered glorified babysitter with a body covered in fog, stood behind the counter, wiping a glass with a pure white towel. Tamura snatched a spare glass off the bar top and threw it at a wall. He used all 5 fingers to get the best leverage for a throw. The glass dissolved in midair and sprinkled over the ground. It was extremely unsatisfying. Kurigiri sighed, walked over to a closet behind the counter. He grabbed a broom and dustpan and went to clean up Tamura's mess. He could have used his quirk to clean up the mess, but he was trying to teach Tamura that using his quirk is not the answer to all his problems. Kurigiri would definitely never tell Sensei that, though. Sensei would prefer if Tamura's only problem-solving skill was to destroy whatever or whoever was working against him. "Sensei," he yelled, the analyst is a cheater." "Why do you say that, Tamura?" A voice spoke softly from an antique television set. "I went to get information about All-Might from him. First, he had the audacity to tell me no." "Really? Me? No?" Tamura yelled. "And then I went to grab him after he left work, but he just disappeared." He threw his hands up in the air. "It's not possible. The back door was in an alley with a dead end, and I didn't give him enough time to get past me. He has to have a second quirk. That's the only explanation." Sensei hummed. "Well, it's not strictly impossible. After all, look at that Todoroki boy. The only thing is, when someone has more than one quirk, they are usually related. Endeavor's son's quirks are both temperature related. Since that boy has an analyst quirk, maybe the other one is speed, but it would be extremely unlikely that one quirk would be mental and the other physical." "Maybe he has a quirk like you?" Tamura asked. "Perhaps a weaker version due to us not knowing about it before now. Quirks are genetic, meaning they run in the family. Even the quirks of children who are seemingly different from their parents can trace the origin of their quirk, sometimes as far back as when quirks appeared. The child would have to have some sort of relation to me. My brother never had the opportunity to have children, and I was careful never to make that mistake." "Ew, I did not need to hear that," Tamura interrupted. "Anyways," Sensei continued, "it's possible he is the descendant of a cousin or something like that. I didn't exactly keep track of the family during my takeover of Japan." "Then how did he just disappear?" "It could be that he is an anomaly, perhaps the first of a truly different species of human, one whose genetic makeup is distinctively different from those who came before him, and breaks all the rules we had thought we knew." "We need to find him," Tamura said with glee, as if he was a child anticipating the present his parents had promised him. "Patience, Tamura. You know where he works, so it's just a matter of time. Tell me, what is his name? I'll see if I can find his home address. Tomura stopped short. I don't know. You don't know? Sensei asked in disbelief. I don't know, Tomura confirmed. How could you not know? Well, I didn't exactly look at his name tag. Tomura seethed. What did he look like? I will go through the quirk registry and find someone who matches. Green hair, green eyes, short. That's it? Yes, that's what he looked like. What else do you need? I guess that will suffice for now. Keep working on finding comrades, Tomura. I will find our elusive analysis. Izuku flew through the air, jumping from rooftop to rooftop. He was never going to take the train again. He had never felt more free than he did when he was flying through the sky. He wished he had a job further away from his apartment so that he didn't have to stop so soon. But he had gotten his bill from Hatsume Industries, so he needed to pay it. His apartment was a couple floors up from the road, but easy enough to get to. The roof door was usually locked, but easy enough to pick. But Izuku didn't feel like doing that tonight. Instead, he propelled himself down the side of the building. Once he got to his floor, he swung himself into the hallway. He put his key in the lock, opened the door, and walked inside. He noticed Inko sitting on the couch watching a drama. He walked past Inko, headed to his room. Aren't you going to tell your mother you're home? I know I taught you better manners than that, she said, not taking her eyes off the television. Izuku sighed to himself. I'm home, he called into the apartment. That's better, she said, waving him away. Izuku walked down the hall and into his bedroom. The bill from Hatsume was sitting in the drawer of his desk. Izuku normally didn't worry about hiding anything in his room. Inko didn't care enough about him or what he did to snoop around. He hadn't opened the envelope yet, so Izuku took a pocket knife and had found the side of the road and cut it open. He looked at the numbers listed on the paper and winced. That's a lot, more than he anticipated, but not more than what he could afford. He logged into his bank account to send an e-transfer. His heart skipped a beat. His account was nowhere near the amount of money he was supposed to have in it. Where did it go? He pulled up his transaction history. It said the money had been withdrawn by the account holder. But that wasn't possible. Izuku knew damn well he didn't take the money out. Izuku was starting to have a sneaking suspicion. He went to his account profile. The profile confirmed what Izuku hoped was wrong. Even though it said Izuku was the prime account holder, Inko had put herself on the account as well. Izuku quickly stood from his chair and stormed into the living room. What did you do with my money? He asked, standing between Inko and the television. What do you mean, your money? The money that was in my bank account, that was put there by my job. It was used to pay the bills. I know exactly how much is supposed to be there. You took out far more than just paying my half of the bills. Your half, Inko scoffed. I think you misunderstood. You're paying all the bills now. What? Izuku asked in anger. You need to prove that the job you're doing can support a family. How else can I make sure you will be ready when you're an adult? If you had ran out of money, I would have to pay for whatever extra from my account. That is not what we agreed on. That money was for the equipment I need to be a crime fighter. You're still going on about that nonsense? It's not nonsense. I've been working my butt off for nearly a year to get that license. Why do you need to be a crime fighter anyways? Your job is enough paying you decently. That is more than enough for someone like you. I don't care about the money. I want to help people, Izuku yelled. That's enough, Inko spat. You're not going to be a crime fighter. End of discussion. I should never have allowed you to dream about it in the first place. Once you got your job, I should have put a stop to it then and there. You can't stop me. I think you forgot. My name is on that bank account too. The money in that account is mine. If I don't want to allow you to buy something, then that's all there is to it. Izuku's eyes watered in frustration. He stormed back to his room. A few tears escaped and rolled down his cheek. Don't cry, you baby, Inko demanded. Izuku ignored her and went into his room, roughly shutting the door behind him. Izuku may not win the battle today, but he will be damned if he let Inko win the war. He sat down on the floor in front of his door and cried out his frustrations. After a few minutes, he felt better. Izuku lifted himself off the floor and sat back down at his desk. Now that he had released his anger and frustration, he was able to think a little more clearly. He had to save up the money again. That might push back his debut, and he had to find a way to make sure Inko didn't take the money again. If he used the bank account, Inko would just take it out. He needed some advice. Big Brother 23. Hey there, kid. Haven't seen you logged on in a while. Deku. Yeah, I've been working a lot. I work at a cafe and do a little bit of analyzes on the side. So it's been busy, Freakazoid. I'm glad you were able to find a job. Deku. Thanks. Oh, I forgot to tell you. I got accepted to St. Dame's, but really I ended up getting a job for nothing. Freakazoid. Awesome. You're going to be the best of us, kid. No soup for you. Jobs are never for nothing, even if it's not something you enjoy. It still puts food on the table. And Deku. Well, that's true, and it's not like I don't enjoy the job. In fact, I love the analyzations. But the only reason I got the job was so I could save up money to be a crime fighter. Big Brother 23. You do know their reputation, right? Deku. Sigh. Yes, I'm completely aware of the reputation, but I promise I'm not planning on dying. I want to help people. CSI guy. We know you have always wanted to be a hero. We won't pretend we aren't worried, but we will do what we can to support you. Deku. Thank you. But unfortunately, everything was for nothing. No soup for you. Why's that, Deku? My egg donor took all the money I had saved up. Big Brother 23. I know what that's like. It's one of the reasons I job hop. My parents used to try and take my money from me as well. But when they couldn't predict when I got paid, they stopped. I'm positive they're still watching my bank account, so I haven't stopped, and I probably won't until they die. No soup for you. As soon as I could move out of my parents' place, I did. Until I started my restaurant, I made sure all my jobs paid me in cash. If it didn't go into a bank account, they couldn't take it. but it was a bitch to open a bank account on my own. No one would allow me to open an account on my own. They all told me I had to have someone who had a quirk as a co-owner of the account. I had a girlfriend at the time that helped me open one, but once the restaurant failed, she cleared out the account and left me. I'm back to getting paid in cash. Big Brother 23. Why do you still live with her? Sounds like you were making enough money that you would be able to afford to live on your own. Maybe see if your boss will pay you in cash instead. Deku. Because I'm a minor, no one will rent to me. I don't have a choice. Freakazoid. Did you get into high school early or something? Deku. No, I'm 15. Big Brother 23. Then, legally, you're an adult. You became one at 14. As long as you can find someone who will rent to someone quirkless, then you could just leave. Deku. What? Why had no one ever told me this before? CSI guy. Well, most parents of quirkless kids actually kick them out once they turn 14. That's what happened to me. I had a feeling the other 3 here were actually oddballs. They had the chance to choose to leave that many of us don't get. Freakazoid. Yeah, I kind of figured you knew and were just being like me. My parents don't exactly like me, but as long as I don't make a mess and I'm quiet, they don't mind me staying there. But once I got a job, they want me gone. So I just pick up a cash-paying job here and there and hide the cash in my room so that they can't find it. I had to save up some money before I moved out. Otherwise, I would be living on the streets. I tried telling my parents that once, but they don't care. As soon as I get a paycheck, I'm gone. CSI guy. You know, you could open an account in the Cayman Islands. Deku. Isn't that place where sketchy people open bank accounts? CSI guy. Well, yes, but as long as you pay your taxes, it's legal. They have also become popular with the few quirkless people who have legitimate jobs. They have had a reputation for having strict non-discrimination banking and security policies. They also don't ask questions to begin with, so it makes it easier to make an account. Izuku double-checked the laws permitting offshore banking, and sure enough, they were legal as long as they were not hiding, and he paid his taxes. But more than that, this was possibly going to be the only way Izuku was going to get out from under Inko's thumb. He is going to have to make his own account and move it. Making an account with Cayman Island Bank was easy enough. Izuku just went online, filled out an application, which was immediately accepted, and electronically transferred as much money as he was allowed. That basically just left Inko with the minimum amount in order to keep the account active. From the sounds of it, he wouldn't be able to close the account even if he wanted to, which he does, but that is besides the point. The next thing Izuku did was put a safeguard on his Cayman account. He never wanted someone to take money out of his account without his knowledge again. He made his account so that if any money would be taken out, it had to be approved by Izuku first. He would get a notification detailing how much was being withdrawn and where it was being transferred. Izuku would then have to approve it before the money could be moved. He was sure it would possibly get annoying after a while, but he would prefer to be annoyed than not know where his money was going. Once his new account was set up, he started looking for apartments. He filled out application after application, circling out from his current residence. He wasn't having much luck. Within seconds of submitting an application, he would receive a denial. Izuku assumed it was due to his quirklessness, but he was required to disclose it. But each one said it was due to a lack of open units. It was obvious a lie. Why would they advertise on it being open when they had no openings? Unfortunately, there was nothing Izuku could do about it. Izuku went out a little further with the same results. When he checked the address of his next application, he realized it would put him firmly in the middle of southern Musatafu. Izuku hesitated to apply. That part of the city had the highest crime rate. But it was either live there or live with Inko. Izuku wasn't seeing much of a difference, to be completely honest. Before he could talk himself out of it, he sent in his application. This one took longer to come back. When he didn't receive an automatic denial, he started looking for more openings in the neighboring cities. The options were too far away, though. Izuku would have to take a train into town, and the ride would be an hour at a minimum, and that was assuming he could get accepted into any apartments to begin with. After about 30 minutes, Izuku received word on his application from the unit in southern Musatafu. To Izuku's disbelief, it was accepted. He had to pay a deposit and first month rent. The apartment would be available in a week. He wasn't having any luck anywhere else, so he went ahead and electronically transferred the money to the account, giving in the notice. Izuku received a notification on his phone to accept the transfer, which he gladly did. He was happy to actually be able to test that feature and was glad it worked. Getting a place of his own felt freeing. Unfortunately, it took nearly all the money he had left, and he had to wait a week before he could move in. He would still have to push back his debut until he had the money saved up again. Izuku figured he should send a message to Hatsume. Midoriya. Hey, my egg donor stole all my money, so I can't pay for my equipment. Do you guys have a payment plan, or can you store my equipment until I can get the money? Hatsume. Please hold a moment. Izuku was confused. Did she not believe that was something a parent would do? Hatsume. I have a proposition for you. Midoriya. What's that? Hatsumi. I keep saying Hatsume. Hatsume. Oh, I know why I keep saying Hatsume. Sorry. Hatsumi. Would you be interested in a job? Izuku looked at his phone. Was he really going to get what was essentially his third job? He hadn't originally considered working off his debt, but he supposed he could do that. But did he physically have enough time to do so? Probably. His other two jobs were basically done at the same time. Midoriya, what kind of job? If it was going to be something extremely time-consuming, he would probably not be able to, and would need to figure something else out. Hatsume, I want you to be my product tester. You test my babies, and I give you my babies for free. Midoriya, yes, I'll definitely be interested. Hatsume, great. I have never had a product tester of my own. I promise I won't blow you up too much. Izuku laughed to himself, then stopped short. He just remembered that may not have been a joke. He walked in on her exploding something once, and that laugh haunted his dreams for a few days afterwards. He probably should have thought it over a little more before agreeing. And that is the end of chapter 15. Chapter 16 will be up next. I am going to read the first little bit of chapter 16, and then I'll send you guys on your way. Chapter 16. For the first time in weeks, Zuko walked into the gym at his normal time. Kamara was sitting at the front desk for once. And that's all I'm going to read, my beautiful mythical creatures. Until next time, drink water and eat donuts. Bye-bye!